What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Bourbon and Bets. I'm your host, Zach Stonerock. This is episode 95, so we're getting closer to that 100 mark. It's been a little while since we've posted a episode on here. We've had a lot going on. Me and my wife traveled to North Carolina for a wedding. Had a bunch of stuff going on with family. It was my wife's birthday. So with everything going on in life, it's been a little bit more challenging to get in front of the camera here and actually record an episode. We have been sharing our picks still on social media, so I think now is a good time to plug that. If you aren't already, please go ahead and follow us on Instagram at Bourbon and Bets and on Facebook at Bourbon and Bets. We share all of our picks on there. Sometimes we just post random picks throughout the week. Some bonus picks on there. I'll be posting the anytime touchdown parlay on there today. So if you aren't doing so already, please go ahead and like us, follow us on all of those platforms. And also, depending on how you're taking in this episode now, please, if you're on YouTube, hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications so you know when the next episode is going to drop. Or if you're just listening to us on any podcast platform, we appreciate it. Go ahead and hit that follow button. All of that goes a long way, and definitely appreciate all of the listeners out there. So, this season's been a little rough for us. We've had a couple hits, a lot more losses. Last week with the Eagles dropping the game to the Jets. Not sure anyone really expected that, but Zach Wilson's doing decent job maintaining that ship, keeping them afloat while Aaron Rodgers is going through his rehab. I know that there's been talk that if Rodgers is able to, and rehab goes well, he's going to try to make it back by the end of the season, which would be absolutely unbelievable considering Achilles injuries are one of the toughest injuries to bounce back from. They typically ruin a lot of guys' careers. So, Aaron Rodgers definitely has a different type of mindset to him. I would never doubt the guy. So we're just going to hang out and wait and see how that goes. But unfortunately, they did take down the Eagles, which crushed our parlay last week. So, but hey, that's gambling, So if you can't handle those losses, and you can't afford to lose the money that you're playing with, I would recommend not dabbling in gambling. So, if you or someone has a problem, please call the gambling hotline. But it's just rough sometimes to take those losses, even if you do have the extra money to play with. So anyway, let's go ahead and dive into week 7. This is going to be a fairly quick podcast episode, just because I think I may have mentioned it, may not have mentioned it. Today's my wife and I's anniversary, so we're going to go out and do some things today to celebrate. But wanted to make sure I got this episode out there. So looking at week 7, we only have a few picks. We have it's going to be a four leg parlay with 2 legs coming from the same game. So we'll just go ahead and dive right into it. We have the Cleveland Browns at the Indianapolis Colts. With this one here, this is probably the first time in a long time that I've taken an under on a player prop. But this one just seems to make a lot of sense. So we're going to take Gardner Minshew under 199.5. And actually, I probably would not even have thought of taking this pick, but I saw Tim, who is on this show with us sometimes, his wife actually put this in a parlay in one of our betting groups on DraftKings. And I saw this and I was like, you know what, let me do a little bit of research and see how I feel about that, because that seems pretty intriguing. So just taking a look at some of these numbers here. So Cleveland leads the league in total yards allowed at 200.4. And then they also lead the league in passing yards allowed per game. The Colts average 228.7 passing yards per game. Gardner Minshew's total, I don't know if I mentioned it, is at 199.5. But if we take a look at that average, I know that average is above what what Gardner's allowed yards are. But they've gone against some of the league's worst passing defenses. They faced the Jaguars twice. One time being last week, where Gardner Minshew actually went for 329 yards. I don't think that's going to happen because the Jags are ranked 31st in the league in pass defense. They've gone against Houston, who was 24th. Baltimore was second when they went against Baltimore. They only had 188 yards passing. And then when Gardner Minshew faced Tennessee the week before the Jags, he only threw for 155. I think going against this Cleveland defense is gonna be a challenge for him. That Cleveland defensive line is going to get after him all day. He's not going to have time back there. I know Jonathan Taylor is back, so that's another weapon that he's going to have to kind of play with. But I don't trust Gardner Minshew to go over 200 yards passing in this game. I am a little hesitant in this because passing yards are so easy to pick up, but I don't love him going over 200. So we're going to go ahead and roll with that. Taking that at minus 115. We're also going to go ahead and parlay that with the Browns giving up 2.5. So Browns minus 2.5 at minus 141. I just think that the Browns are the better football team here, especially with that defense. PJ Walker last week looked good. So it's still up in the air. I don't think it's been announced yet if Deshaun Watson's going to be starting this game. I know he's dealing with some rotator cuff stuff. But if he goes, I think that it does help the team. But I think PJ Walker, being a Carolina Panthers fan, I've seen PJ Walker do some great things on the field. So regardless of who starts there, I feel pretty good about the Cleveland Browns, which never thought I would ever say that in my life. But so that's 2 picks. The next one I have, we're going to go to Detroit at Baltimore. This game here, I think it could go either way. So I'm going to stay away from the point spread here, or even just picking a winner money line. We're going to go with a pick that I really like. Jamison Williams' longest reception over 12.5 yards. Last week, he had 3 targets, 2 catches for 53 yards, and his longest was 45 yards. That's kind of his game. He's a field stretcher. He's gonna go and get some of those longer catches. But also he has the speed to be able to take like a quick slant, 15, 20 yards down the field. And even some of those shorter routes, he has the ability to make tacklers miss. 12.5 just seems like a very short distance for him to have to cover with a reception. So we're going to go ahead and take that. That's coming in at minus 110. So the next play that we're going to have here, I had another one that I was going to go with. So I'm going to share this, but I'm not actually going to put it in the parlay before I get to the last pick. I was looking at the Pittsburgh and Los Angeles Rams game, and was thinking about taking Matt Stafford's longest pass completion over 37.5. 4 out of 6 games this has hit for Stafford, or at least going over this yardage. I'm not sure what the over under line was set at for those games, but he's hit 4 out of 6 times. Going against a Pittsburgh pass defense, which is ranked 25th in the league. However, looking at that pass defense, Pittsburgh's only given this up 1 time. They've only given up a pass over 38 yards 1 time. So I think this is a tough one. I really wanted to take Stafford going over this for his longest completion, especially having like Tutu Atwell and Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua, who they all have the ability to break a long reception, especially Cooper Kupp, who put up like 150 yards last week. And that was actually one of the games where Stafford went over. I think he had I think Kupp's longest reception was like 48 yards or something like that. So I just think going against this less than great Steelers pass defense and having all those weapons at receiver, I think there's a good chance this could hit. I'm staying away from it. But if you wanted to go ahead and play it, I believe it comes in at 110, minus 110. So not included in the parlay, but wanted to share that. And then I guess I should point out that this isn't just an open beer bottle here. It's actually the Bourbon and Bets thing that you've probably seen in a few different episodes, but just trying to figure out my setup here with camera angles and stuff. So it probably looks weird that there's just a beer bottle neck coming up there. But anyway, I digress. Let's get back on track here. So the last leg of this parlay, leg number 4, we're going to go to Arizona at Seattle. We're going to go ahead and take Kenneth Walker, the third, with a anytime touchdown. It actually looks like I forgot to write down the odds there, but I want to say it's like minus 215. Let me look at that real quick. We're going to include that in a parlay. Minus 210 on that. So that's coming at minus 210. Arizona's 24th against the run. They've given up rushing touchdown 4 out of 6 games this year. And then if you look at Kenneth Walker, he has scored a rushing touchdown in 4 out of 5 games. That's 4 straight. So the only game that he didn't get a rushing touchdown was week 1. So feeling pretty confident about this. Arizona seems to be slipping a little bit. They started out the season kind of shocking the world and playing extremely well. But I think that, as I've mentioned before, water finds its level, and I think that that's what's starting to happen here. I think that the Seattle offense is gonna lean heavily on Kenneth Walker. So feeling pretty confident about him being a anytime touchdown scorer today. So we take all 4 of those picks. Do another quick rundown here for you. So we have Gardner Minshew under 199.5, Browns minus 2.5, Jamison Williams longest reception over 12.5 yards, and then Kenneth Walker anytime touchdown. And this parlay comes in at plus 722. However, on DraftKings right now, they do have a 50% boost. So if you boost this with that 50% boost, it's plus 1,084. So pretty good payout. If you're betting $100, you could, bring back over 1,000. If you're betting $10, you can profit over 100. So lots of good opportunity there. But that's gonna be our picks for the day. Again, like I said, this is quick episode. I just wanted to get in front of everyone again. It's been a while. I've missed all of you. Hopefully these picks today hit for you. Everyone's able to be profitable. If you have any picks that you'd like to share with us, please send them to us via social media. Again, Instagram at Bourbon and Bets, and on Facebook at Bourbon and Bets. But that's going to be it. Sorry for the quick episode and just kind of running out of here. But like I said, it's my wife and I's anniversary, 2-year anniversary. So super excited to go celebrate with her. Hopefully I win a little bit of money today so we can have a little bit of extra fun. But I will catch you all on the next episode.